Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Color Cubers here on Studioloo. So today we're going to jump into box number 2. If this is your first time seeing a Color Cubers video, this is pretty much a weekly thing that I'm hosting using the color cubes. So all the information's down below in my description box, including some other folks who are participating in using color cube boxes to make ephemera. So let's dive into box number 2 and see what the oracle shall bring us today. So I've got my little bookmark here. Let's see. Let's take from maybe pretty close to the front. Let's check this one out. Put the little thing in here. Okay. Oh, nice. So this is card number 257 from box 2. So you see we have these kind of grungy luggage cases. And we have these kind of beige, brown, taupey, olive green kind of and black colors. Quite nice. So the colors are defined as charcoal, sand, olive, umber, and taupe. So I was pretty bang on, I think, with my initial thoughts on the colors. Here are the hex codes in case you would like to capture them or do a digital project. Okay, so I'm going to go off now, as I always do, to my supplies and find these colors, and I'll come back. Okie dokie, not going to lie, that was a challenge. Is still challenging. Let me show you my kind of board here. Okay, so my idea for charcoal is a little bit twofold. So the background here of this antique photo album is sort of a charcoal-y color. The photos, some of them are absolutely a charcoal color, and it's weird. Like this sort of old discolored paper back here kind of also falls into umber, but then it's yeah, it's ever so slightly more charcoal, you know, so like it sort of goes into both families. So I've tried to be a little bit like easier on myself. I don't need to, like, this doesn't have to be, you know, absolument. Okay, we're gonna be okay. So sand, I've gone with this is from a book called Charlotte Moss Decorates, and so this house here is sand colored, as is this little Ex Libris sticker, and there's even a bit of sand in the background of these floral images. Olive was like pretty difficult for me. So olive is depicted as quite a brownish olive here. So it's almost like, I remember years ago in art classes, art school, olive, we referred to it as baby poop brown sometimes. So I definitely know that olive has that color. So I have this fabric, but then I also grabbed this because this kind of falls into both taupe and olive. This is more traditionally kind of what I would see as a dark olive. Like olives, when you think of it, are much brighter in green, right? But olive typically does get represented in design work as more brownish green. Then taupe, I have this embroidery floss, and also these tones in a few of these, specifically this one, are quite exact to that. So I think we just kind of take a deep breath and start building something here, and see what happens. So I think what I want to do is just kind of begin by like cutting these down to sizable, useful things. And for this house, I want to limit it to be sort of a certain size, and I want to get rid of all the other colors that kind of confuse the eye. So we'll just do this, get rid of that, and then we have this house. Then I need to choose a particular photograph, I think, that I want to use. And I quite like all of these, but I think it's either this woman and her dog or this cute couple. And perhaps because We have this house in the background. It might make sense to go with the couple. And we do have charcoal tones in that one, so I'm going to cut around it, leaving a bit of paper there. Set those aside so they're not confusing to the eye. So that gives me this. Then obviously also this and this. Fabric we'll deal with later. I will get the card out that I want to use from this. I don't think the rabbit matches any of the colors really. If anything, it would fall into the olives, but not really, no. Okay, so let's set that aside. Okie dokie. Let me find this. You know, it's funny, I was looking at this and I was like, these are kind of in that color range, that Oxford. But let's use this as the base for what we're going to make instead. I just have to grab my guillotine. 1 second. I did a bit of studio tidying today, which involves not having my cutter laying in the middle of the floor as I often do, so that I step on it or trip over it about 300 times a day. It's because I keep grabbing it and then I'll put it down beside me, but it's kind of a unwieldy thing to grab a hold of, so I just it falls over wherever I put it down. It's even my daughter has said to me, like, Mom, why is this thing in the middle of the floor again? I'm like, that's a great question. Ask somebody responsible. Are there any adults around? Yeah. Okay, so let's just trim off the weird edges here. I don't know what I was doing when I tore this box apart, but apparently I was like infected with rabies when I did it, because it's like, looks like it's been torn apart by cannibals or something. Okay, so I need this to be a little wider, this piece. I'm gonna go, I think, with about yeah, maybe 5 inches. Yeah. Oh, what's this? That actually looks like a nice size. 4 and not quite a half. No, I need more room. I need 5. And I think this is crooked. A little bit. No. I think it's just this that's like throwing my eyes off. Okay, that's fine. So now we shall turn this into a base. First get my glue book. I reorganized my desk again today. So I was spinning yarn on my electric spinning wheel, and I was sitting here, and I have this conundrum where I never have enough plugs in my studio to plug everything in that I need plugged in. And so every time I use my spinning wheel while sitting here, I have to unplug one of my lights, which is annoying because like I need the lights for when I'm filming, and sometimes I forget to do the switcheroo again. So I was like, I know, I'll unplug this aught light that I don't need, that I'm not really using anymore, and then we'll plug the spinning wheel in. Well, the spinning wheel has this very annoying wide plug, because just about everything with my one spinning wheel is like the worst design possible, which is why I never recommend my spinning wheel, because it will probably make you go mad if you buy it. So anyways, that being said, I got that all sorted out, but then it turned out that I still couldn't plug the spinning wheel in without like using up 2 plugs. So now I just have to like sort something else out again. So all of that organization was sort of for nothing. It's like that song that I keep seeing on TikTok, like, all that work and what did I get for it, or something, you know. It's just like, oh, yes, I feel it so much. But that's okay. Because now we're cleaner a little bit. We're not so grungy. Okay, let's tear this away. And then we need to decide, is this going to be a tag? I have a feeling it may be. I quite like the idea of the shapes. So I think I need to decide on what it's going to be, but I first want to kind of understand the size. Okay, so the size is this. So like if this were to go here, I would need to go higher. And this would become a little smaller. I've got quite a edge on it here. We don't need that much edge. Let's clean that up a little. Yeah, I think like that would be cool. And then, yeah, we could still have it be a tag. Okay, so let's cut this into a more regular bit of fabric around it. We can snip both of these. Okay. Now I also need to make a bit of take some decision making time here with what I want to do with this. So I do like it for its olivey properties, and I think it does fall into the taupe olive umber kind of family. It's not exact to any of them. Even to the dark sand, it's quite close. So it's a strange set of colors here. So I think what I'd like to do with this is not use it as a tag topper per se, but when I am stitching around this piece, I will lay some of it up here. Can it fit all the way across twice? Maybe, maybe. So I get a little more bang for my buck there. Okay, good. So when I'm stitching, I'll have that like that. Maybe one more piece. I think they'd be nicer if I separate them. It's kind of too thick feeling. So do this. Maybe a third one, like so. Then I thought I was going to do some stitching with this embroidery floss, but you know, I think I'm going to do something different, because different is good. Let's do the same thing, but in the opposite direction with this, and kind of just let them be messy. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine and I'm going to stitch around the edge of this tag, just kind of keeping these in place so they'll be movable, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I've stitched around. Now we do have to clean this up, and we have a couple of problems in terms of the keep a little excess there. The blue paper underneath got a little wonky right there because it was just being difficult, but I have a solution. Let's just keep these bits aside. The rest of this I don't need. Okay, so where is my gold? Here it is. I'm going to use some gilding wax, because gilding wax is actually in that sort of sandy family. But also, you know, we can use a little something here and there when we want to. Especially if it gets lighter, like if you just do a little bit of it here and there. It's not that distracting, but also I think it will bring some of that sand sort of. We'll just put a little here so we balance it with threes. Okay, that's good. Okay. Get rid of this paper now, and we need to start putting on our bits of things. Now I want this maybe under the threads or on top, maybe a little of both. What if we did that? Yeah, that would be good. Okay, and then I need to just work out how I'm going to lay things out here. Is this a sticker? Yes, okay. I like that on top of there. I need a little something else. I need to think about this. I will be right back. I think I need to find something else that's in this color family to just make this exactly what I'm looking for. One moment. Okay, I found it. I found some of this. This is Vintage Trimtex by Hem Facing. And it is charcoal, and we need it. We need it to balance this out. Yeah, this is so perfect. Exactly what I need. All right. Voila. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. I'm wondering, I sort of have this idea that I would like to stitch all this on. Is that weird? I feel like it would be cool all stitched on. And then also with this stuff, I feel like maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll glue it. I don't know. Let's see. We could probably work this out. I feel like I definitely want to stitch it though. So I want this to come up here. And I want to be pretty giving of this being seen. So that's good. Bring this up a little more, maybe. And that like that. And then this will be like over the tag, stitched onto the back. Yeah, okay, so what I think I want to do is almost like kind of a quilt kind of aesthetic, right? So I'm going to throw a little bit of glue down on all of these pieces. Then I'm going to stitch the edges of everything down. I will then of course have to back the piece because it will be all stitched on the back, but I'm okay with that. So let's just glue these on with glue stick rather than a heavy glue. And then re-establish our collage. There. Okay. And this. Sorry if that little cut off, my battery died. I knew it was going to happen. I was just being too excitable and not changing it. Okay, this down a little, right there. Okay, and this right there. Okay, so my idea here is we're going to stitch around this and this. And then I'm going to do the lines here around the house, then around the tag again, and I'm going to loop this like so. And then, you know what else I want to put on there? Because I'm extra, is one of these. They're going to fall into the kind of sand, I think. But it's really gold, to be honest. But I just think we need a little something like that right there. That might come after with just glue though, so we'll see. I will be back. Okay, so I have backed this with some paper bag. And I did all the stitching as explained. Just give me 1 second here. I'll just cut all these threads off and explain to you what we're doing. Okay, so I stitched around here, here, all around the house, did a zigzag over some of the threads. And you know, I was thinking about like adding that gold label because I felt like this wasn't interesting enough, even though the color is so bang on. It's charcoal. I instead was a little inspired by like maybe this guy is some kind of a tailor, or you know, he owns a design house or something. So I decided to do some different fun stitching on here, and then I thought instead of adding something, I'll carry with my charcoal black stitching across where I have these olivey pieces of felt waste, right? So it kind of brings the design together because it looked a little plain just sort of sitting there. Now in using this paper bag, obviously I can just cut this off, but I think what I'd like to do maybe is, let's see how it looks. I want to just keep a little tiny border of that color because it does speak to the sand and olive family a little bit, I think. And gives a nice kind of extra bit behind. There we go. And sometimes it's just the little things that I enjoy. This little bit of bag at the top that's visible, that serration, I quite like that. So that I think is my piece for today. So like ever so slight color deviation, maybe, with that olive being so challenging, but I do think that we got it in some way. So yeah, that is my work today, and I'm seeing actually right here, that's an exact bang on for that olive, this darker color here. So that's my work today. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Color Cubers. Please check my description box to learn more about the Color Cube boxes, as well as the other people who are participating in using them. Also, if you have the Color Cube boxes and you're planning to make some videos using them, you don't have to follow my prompts. You certainly can if you want to. I think it's fun to see what other people do with the same prompts, but you don't have to. I'm not bothered one way or the other. So this is card number 257, and it is from box 2. So that is today. Have a wonderful day. We shall talk soon. Bye for now.